Happy Thursday, everyone!
Happy Thursday! We are ready for Halloween.
Yes, we are. Hope you guys are having fun this week. Hope you guys are going to have some plans for a fun and safe Halloween. Whoa, somebody is excited. Are you ready to start class? Is that what's going on? This is Sketchawa, Miss Sketch. She's 17 years old.
Incredible.
She's been on this planet for longer than some of us that are lucky enough to enjoy and see all these crazy Halloweens.
Yeah.
So if you guys are ready, go ahead and grab your glass of wine or your beer or whatever you're going to drink with us tonight, and we'll get on started for our wine and yoga class tonight.
Nice. Yeah. Let's see what we have this night.
So this is a nice Pinot Noir that I got. I keep forgetting I got paint on my nose. Gotta make sure not to rub it.
Yeah. So cute. It hurts.
Thank you. So RVTZ Cellars, and it's a Pinot Noir that I got, and I really enjoy it. I think that it's very light. It's not super heavy on the wine itself. You know, some bodies can be really heavy and really full. I'd say this is more like a medium body wine to light. Perfect for wine and yoga class.
Yes. Light.
Yeah. So, I got this at, I think I got this at Safeway. I can't actually remember where I got this because I got this a little while ago, but good price. We usually spend about $10 to $20 on our bottles of wine, depending on our class. So,
yeah. Nice. Let's see. Cheers. Salud, chin chin.
Salud.
Mila, hello. Yay. Hi, Ginger. Welcome.
Guys, we're always interested in hearing what you're drinking too. So if you want to comment below and let us know what you are drinking in class, we are always happy to know. If you're drinking a white wine or rosé or whatever you're feeling.
Yeah. Girls from Miami usually drinks rosé wine.
Oh yeah, it's
hot there. Yeah. Here you start the winter start coming. And a little bit cold. Then it's amazing red wine.
I agree. It's the perfect to warm up from the inside out, especially while you are doing some yoga as well. Just to get yourself relaxed a little bit. As we know, most of us that come to class, we are not a traditional yoga class for this class anyways. We like to have a little bit of fun, but also like to stretch it out a little bit so that way we can really feel the benefits of our poses.
Yes.
And maybe drink a little wine so we don't worry about all the other stuff that we think about sometimes.
Exactly.
You know?
Just relax, take this time for you, for yourself. And yes, sometimes crazy, busy days, and now it's time to relax and enjoy.
Exactly. So let's go on, get on started, guys. If you have your mats and your wine, whatever you've got to get your practice
Hola,
going
Eli.
today.
Hola, Eliana. Besos.
And if anyone ever wants to join us on Zoom, you are more than welcome to. I do have the link available in the group page. It is under the wine and yoga class, and the link to the class is available there with the meeting ID and the password. So if you ever don't want to just watch and you want to participate, please feel free.
Oh yeah,
that was my Halloween voice. I don't know. As you can see, we are close to Halloween, so we decided to dress up.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and get on started for our class today. So find a nice, comfortable spot on your mat. If you have a blanket or a pillow that you want to sit on underneath you today, please go ahead and feel free to grab that, and we'll get on started. Okay. All right, so sitting nice and tall, expand through the vertebrae. So kind of breathe into them, and as you exhale, let the shoulders melt. Let's start to close our eyes, beginning our practice with our pranayama, so our breathing. There's so many things that we do throughout our day, our week. Be proud of all of those things that you've accomplished and done. And just be happy that you've given yourself this time, right here, right now. Begin to breathe into all the muscles in your face. Let them soften. Let the space between your eyebrows become soft and relaxed. Maybe relaxing the jaw as we hold a lot of tension. all go with that breath. Inhale big. Exhale, release. Inhale, feel the expansion in your rib cage, the front, the sides, the back. And as you exhale, relaxing any tension you might feel in your chest. Breathe in, breathe out. Calming the body and calming the mind. Trying our best to let go of all that BS that we store inside our hearts, our minds. Allowing yourself to just be. And if you've already had a little bit of wine, enjoying that feeling of that wine or beer, or maybe you had a margarita today. Whatever you got. That sounds
Yes.
Good, huh?
Now I decide.
Nice. Just appreciating that warmth and that relaxation that we can hopefully bring to ourselves with that breath, and maybe the wine will help a little bit too. Release your hands down to the side, and then inhale, reach them up. Join your palms together and release them down to your heart center. Let's take a nice gentle bow forward. Create an intention for your practice, a reason, sometimes even a mantra, something we can return to when our mind starts to wander. So creating maybe, I am positive, I am loving, I am energetic. Whatever you want to create for yourself right here, right now. Breathe it in nice and big. Exhale, release it out. Inhale, let's rise back up at the crown of our head. And we'll slowly open our eyes. Awesome job, guys. All right, let's go ahead and begin our practice working on our fingers, our hands, and our wrists. So we're going to interlace those fingers, and we're going to push the palms away. And so as you do so, when you push those palms away, roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Nice. Breathe in as we lift the chest a little more. And then inhale, reach the hands up towards the sky. Pull the shoulders down. Inhale, release your hands, and then exhale, pull the elbows out towards the side. Awesome. Like you're pulling a rubber band down from the ceiling. Inhale, open your hands. Exhale, close the hands. Nice. Inhale, open, strong. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Neutral position with the hands, so just relax. Inhale, reach your hands up towards the sky, and then let's exhale, seated, cross-legged, forward fold. So hands come to the floor, and we just relax the forehead down. Now, as we take a couple breaths here in the beginning of our practice, take some time to really check in with your body and see if you have any tension or tightness stored. Meaning that we have just kind of started our poses. A lot of times we have that tension in our upper back. So breathing in from the lower and coming up to the upper. And trying our best to melt with each exhale.
It's okay if my push.
Yeah, and that's why that blanket's really good for too, because you can keep it actually under the butt if the butt starts to come up a little bit. Because as those hips become tight from whatever we do in our lives, they tend to contract with our hip flexors and as well as our quad muscles. So just trying our best to breathe and let that relax. One more breath here, guys. Inhale, I want you to slowly, gently roll yourself back up. And we're going to come into our seated cat-cows. Feet come to the floor. How do we feel? Good? Yeah. Hands come to the knees. Either on the thighs or on the knees, your choice. Inhale, let's roll ourselves forward. Exhale, arch the spine, coming back. Inhale, pull into the feet. Make sure you're gripping with your toes. Exhale, rounding back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Give a little smile here. And exhale, relax back. Inhale, activate through the chest as you come forward. Last one. Exhale. Inhale, let's go ahead and come to neutral spine, and let's go ahead and come into a seated side stretch. So cross the legs once again, but make sure that you switch the cross. So if your right leg was in front, switch it around. Yeah? So seated side stretch. Your left hand is going to stay on the floor. Your right arm is going to come up, and you're going to exhale over to the left. Nice. Beautiful. And just like Luciana is here, we have the shoulder away from the ear. So that's exactly what we want. We don't want to crunch our shoulder to our ear. None of that. Definitely want to relax the space here. Perfect. Take 2 more breaths. See if you can stretch a little bit more on the exhale. Inhale, come up. And exhale, relax right hand down. Opposite side. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, gently stretch over toward your right side. And just being careful not to twist ourselves. So I'm seeing myself even in the video, and I see that I'm kind of twisting over to one side. So just making sure that our heart and our chest is facing forward, and it's just the left arm reaching towards the right side. Inhale, come back up. And let's exhale, release it all the way down. Spread those hands nice and wide. Bring yourself into a tabletop position on your hands and knees. Keep that breath flowing. And we're going to find plank here in just a breath. So if you've got a blanket behind you, make sure you move that off to the side. Spread those fingertips nice and wide. And then we're going to exhale, rotate the wrists around. So now the fingertips are facing inward. Yeah. Inhale. And exhale, release and switch to the tops of your hands. Nice job, guys. And if it feels okay to kind of sit back in the hands and bend the elbows outward, do that. Inhale, come on back up, and exhale, shake the hands. You okay?
Yes. This exercise is amazing for people who works with the computer and...
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, spread those fingertips wide. Now let's go ahead and find that plank position. 5 breaths here. Stretch one leg out behind you and then meet with the other. Activate through your core, nice and strong. Come forward, that way you have space because we're coming into plank.
Okay.
Yeah. So stretching nice and long with the arms and stretching long with the legs. So coming all the way down into plank. There we go. Nice. Perfect. Activate through your shoulders. Your core is strong. It's tight. Let's take 2 more full breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now inhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. So coming up and pushing those heels down into the floor. Awesome. Now let's spread your feet just a couple of inches apart. So you want your feet about hip width distance apart in your downward dog. We inhale, lift the hips a little bit more as we push into the hands. You got it. You're good. You're good. Relax your head. Yeah, you're good. You got the cooler costume on, so I figured we'd show you off more today. All right, inhale, look at your hands. Walk yourself to your hands. So take a couple of steps. Exhale, find a nice forward fold. Bend the knees a little bit and shake the head out yes and no. So just relax. Hopefully your glass of wine is handy. I'm going to prep Lou for her wine. Yeah, thank you. All right, guys, so we're going to slowly roll up to standing. Stacking 1 vertebrae at a time. Grab onto your wine. Bring your wine with you as you come up. Come all the way to standing. Inhale, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And take a nice sip as you maybe cheers yourself or the person you're with. All right, guys, let's go ahead and break it into our vinyasa flow just a little bit here, a little mini one, a slow one. So if you have a vinyasa flow that you'd like to work on your own, please feel free to move a little faster, okay? So we'll come back into our standing position here. We're going to go ahead and bring our feet together. Inhale, arms are going to come up towards the sky. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Reach yourself all the way down towards the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Extend your spine, hands to knees, shins. or quads. Exhale, release, plant your hands, walk and find yourself into plank. So inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. So lower push-up, elbows as close to the side body as you can. Inhale, lift yourself up to up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift to half push-up. Exhale, come back into a child's pose just for a moment. We're breaking it slow here. Inhale, lift yourself up into downward facing dog as the exhale drops the heels, coming down. Okay? Feeling warm? Feeling good, I hope? Let's go ahead and lift those heels up off the floor. Exhale, drop them down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop them down. One more time here, guys. Inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, float them down. Now let's see if we can push into the feet and lift the toes up off the floor. So you're really just pushing as much as you can and just doing that little tiny lift with the toes. Release the feet. Nice job. All right, let's go ahead and find a low crescent lunge to start our practice today. So we're going to go ahead and inhale, lift the hips, exhale, drop the knees down to the floor first, and then bring your right knee forward so that way your right foot is in between your hands. Low crescent lunge. Yeah? All right. From here, fingertips can stay on the floor. Lift the chest forward. Bring hands to knees if it feels appropriate for you. Kind of extends a little bit further into that left IT band and also hip flexor. Breathing into it slowly. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Inhale, exhale. If it feels okay, look over your back shoulder, your right shoulder. So you're coming into a little spinal twist. So we're going to look over our right shoulder here. Take one more full breath. Inhale, bring your gaze back forward. Remember your intention or your mantra, whichever it may be. Come back forward. Hands can come to the floor. Inhale, exhale, half split. So shift your weight back, hinging. So this one, hips come back, and we allow ourselves to lift the hips and flex the front foot. Okay? Nice. And if you have blocks at home, allowing yourself to use blocks if needed.
Nice.
On the hands.
Or maybe some books.
Or a bottle of wine, I guess. You can use that too.
2 bottles of wine. I like it.
Right? Yeah. I'm like, I think I could use the bottle. All right. Let's take one more breath right here. Inhale. Roll yourself back towards that front foot. Hands come to the floor. Right knee meets the left. Child's pose. Exhale. Come back. Does it feel okay?
Super.
If it feels okay to roll the forehead side to side, just massaging it one way and then the other. And then let's go ahead and inhale, lift ourselves back up to our tabletop position. We'll take it to the left side. So just bring that left knee forward and extend the left foot in between the hands. Yeah? Awesome. Now, as you find your fingertips, a lot of the times we tend to curl and arch our spine. So trying our best to find elongation through the spine, your drishti, your focus point. Coming up maybe from your fingertips on the floor to your knee. And if you've got your wine glass handy, you can always allow yourself to take a sip here too. Right? Right, exactly. Finding fun while you can. All right. Shifting a little bit more over to the back shoulder, so your left shoulder, and just allowing the hands to kind of guide you there if that feels appropriate. Hand can come to the hip. This hand can come to knee, the elbow, whatever feels good for you here in this moment. I want you to find it. There's so many options in yoga, and that's what makes it fun, right? We have a lot of different expressions in our asanas. So allowing ourselves to find what works for us here to get a good stretch. Inhale, come back forward. Exhale, hands to floor. hinge back into your half split. So just lift your hips and straighten your front leg. Nice. Perfect. Good job, Lee. We have perfect alignment right here. So we want to keep our hip stacked above the knee. So I'm just going to turn sideways a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about here. Where we have our front foot extended and we have our hips above the knee. We don't want to go too far back. We really want to stay right above that knee. So that's where those blocks can come in handy if you feel like you can't quite reach right there. That's okay, don't worry. This is a good stretch for the sciatic nerve line. Keep elongating. If you've got that little bubble, that little roundness in the spine, keep pulling the belly button down towards the thigh. Keep that elongation. Maybe a little bend in the knee is necessary. Nice little good breathing. Last one. Inhale, come back forward. Walk yourself back to that front foot. Bring that knee back to meet the other, and exhale, child's pose. Nice. Taking time for yourself. Once again, returning back to that mantra, I am loving, I am kind, I am patient. There's so many things that we have to be challenged with in our lives. So be proud of all of those things that you've accomplished and done. And this is the time to give back to yourself right here. Walk your hands slowly over to the right side of your mat. And then walk your hands back to the center after your next breath. So take an inhale and exhale. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, relax. Inhale, walk the hands over towards the left side. Exhale, relax. 2 more. Beautiful, guys. Good job. 1 more. Inhale, bring yourself back to center. Hands reaching into the mat and then lifting yourself up into downward facing dog. So tucking the toes, lifting the hips, and stretching those legs out. Nice job, guys. Push into your hands. Allow that downward dog to be found. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale. Look at your feet. We're going to work on just a little bit of balancing, a little bit of challenge for us here tonight. So we're going to work on a 2-legged downward dog. So please feel free to try. I always encourage you guys to challenge yourselves in our practice.
Okay.
All right, so but before we do that, actually, let's warm up those shoulders and our core just a little bit more. So we're going to come into 3 downward dog to plank exercises. All right, inhale in your downward dog. Exhale, come to your plank. Inhale, hold. Exhale, come back into your downward dog. Inhale. Exhale, come back to your plank. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, plank. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job, guys. If you feel you need to take a couple more of those, you feel more than welcome to. All right, so looking back at your right toes, I want you to lift your right heel up and then start to draw the right toes back. Nice. Look at your left hand. Lift the left palm up off the floor so the fingertips are just pushing onto the mat. Nice. Awesome. So lifting the right toes up a little bit if it feels comfortable, and then lifting the left hand up when it feels comfortable, or maybe you work fingertip by fingertip. So maybe your index is still pushed into the mat. Yeah. Whatever is working in that hand, challenge yourself, and if you're looking at the hand, start to bring the gaze back towards the foot. One more. Exhale, releasing the hand and foot back down. And if you need a child's pose in between, you can go ahead and take it. If you'd like to go ahead and move on to the next one. Yeah. All right, so looking at your left toes. Lift your left heel up, drag the left toes back. Inhale, look at your right hand, lift the right palm up, Fingertips are pushing into the floor. Finding balance, what works good for you. Maybe you want to try the hand first and lift the hand off the floor just to see where that feels. And then maybe practice with the foot. Lift the toes up just an inch. And then maybe see where, okay, I can lift maybe the toes an inch and then maybe lift the rest of the fingers and maybe just the thumb or the index is allowing a little bit of pressure. Just a little bit. We don't want to hurt our fingers. Nice, Lou. Good job. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have the best teacher.
Yes, I love it. Keep lifting the toes up and the fingers up. See maybe where you can really challenge yourself. See where that core is strong. Beautiful. Keep it breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Release it down. Inhale. Look up at your hands. Walk or step to the top of your mat. Exhale. Find a nice forward fold. I'm going to scoot back just a little. All right. We're going to go ahead and find Utkatasana, chair pose from here. So feet can either be together or a couple of inches apart. We're going to bend the knees and swoop the arms up in front of us like we're sitting into a chair. Yeah, so activating that core and the quads. Just one more time here. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Nice job, guys. That was a good round. That was a strong round. Let's celebrate.
Yeah, nice.
Very good job, guys, right there. Yeah, right?
Yes. I feel a lot of exercise in my abdominal, spine, or we work at a lot of parts together. It's amazing.
Good.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah. Always like to do something a little bit different each week, you know, just say similar things, but also build upon them, you know, so that way we can work on different strengths. And that also can help us with our crow pose. Yeah.
As close as I can't. Today I will.
Nice. All right, so we're going to work on a couple more of our challenging poses today then, allowing ourselves to stretch out the wrists, and this is always the nice one for a crow pose. So we're going to go right into our crow pose today since we already warmed up our shoulders, our arms, and our core, hopefully. If you guys don't want to work on crow pose today, that's okay. You're always are more than welcome. Allowing yourself to stretch out the wrists, as well as coming here into child's pose with arms behind you, or coming into your downward facing dog, and working on walking your feet up and walking your feet back. So those are options for you to do today. All right, so working on our crow pose, we're going to allow ourselves to do this nice and slow. So maybe I'll demo first, and then we'll work with with you. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll break it down a little bit. And if you've already practiced crow pose with us, go ahead and jump right into it, guys. You do not need to wait for me. All right, so allowing us to have some space, maybe a blanket in front of you if you feel like you might need something to rock forward. If you've got a block, those are always even more handy. Block underneath the feet. So hands come about shoulder width apart. So you can step onto your block for support. You spread your fingertips nice and wide. You bring your knees to the backs of your elbows. Not the outside, not the inside. You want to have it right here, so when you bend your elbow back, you have that really nice stacking from the elbow to the knee. Yeah? So just like we are here with the elbows on your knees, it's the same idea and concept. We can lift ourselves, find your drishti, your focus point, and look into that spot. Find your awareness in your breath. Push into your hands. Keep the core strong. And allow maybe foot by foot to come off that block. Yeah?
Nice. Another way to do this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Want to try?
Yes, let's see.
And always, guys, your reverse stretch after your crow pose, you always want to take it easy with the wrists backwards here. And you can also bring them underneath the knees and sit on them for a little pressure as well. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, please.
Yes.
Dive.
Put your feet on the block.
Okay. Both.
Mm-hmm. Now, bring your hands to the floor.
Here?
Yep. And then spread them nice and wide. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Spread those hands nice and wide, so you maybe need a little more outward. The elbows when you pull back. Now bend your elbows. Now before you come down, yes, there you go. See that adjustment you just made? It was perfect. That was exactly what you needed to do because you were finding the backs of your elbows.
Okay.
So it always is a little sensitive on the backs of your elbows a little bit here because you got, see that rotation she just did? So you don't want your elbows to point outward. You want your elbows to point inward towards your body. So you can stack those knees on the muscular, fattier part of your arm. Some of us have a little bit more, some of us have a little less. All right, and that's okay. That's what makes us all beautifully individual, you know? All right, so bending back just enough. And as we shift our weight up, we also shift the weight forward. And you can also maybe push your forehead into the block for better balance. How's that feel?
Better.
Yeah? Nice. Lou, that was amazing!
Yeah!
I wish I wasn't in the shot. Let me go on this side so I can support you better.
Okay.
Do you want to try one more time?
Yes.
All right.
Guys, I will just make a little stretching again here.
Perfect. No. Good for the stretching in between your attempts. And if you want to try side crow, you can always try side crow while I'm breaking down the asana a little bit more here. If you're like bored and you're like, move on, try side crow. And if you don't know what side crow is, I'll show you in a second. Okay. Hands spread. So you notice when you put your forehead forward a little bit more, how your toes became a little lighter. Yeah.
Let's see. Then elbows here.
Oops, almost.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful! That was awesome!
2 seconds! Yeah! My record!
That was a bigger step than last one.
This way is much easier.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I feel more confident to do this because I have this protection in my head. Then, yes, I think it's better.
Perfect.
Thank you!
Yay! Oh, I'm so happy when I see that. Oh! Guys, I hope you have some awesome moments like that too in your practice. If it's not this pose, maybe other ones.
Thank you.
Yay!
She knows how difficult it is for me this position. Yes.
Big moves, one step at a time.
Yeah.
You know? All right, guys. So working on that pose, I hope you guys tried it a little bit. I'm just going to show you the side crow in case you guys are joining us in class and you want to try something more challenging. So side crow being very similar, only you're stacking elbow to knee and elbow to your hip. So allowing yourself to find that stacking position. So instead of being forward, you're twisted to the side. Same concept where you shift your weight forward and then you can bring your legs out and then maybe not kick anything. But yeah, you're side crow. Yeah. All right. Woo. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we're getting close to our time here, so we're going to start wrapping things up just a little bit. But our last standing pose that we're going to work on a little bit is our tree pose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Awesome.
go.
So let's come into it nice and strong so we can kind of activate. So come back into your tabletop position first, and then come into downward facing dog. So inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, drop the heels. Walk your hands or your feet so that way you come into a forward fold. So however which way, inhale, roll yourself to standing. Grab onto that one if you haven't had a sip already. And roll yourself up to standing. And cheers yourself. Cheers.
Here.
Sorry. Cheers.
Cheers. Chin chin, salud.
All right, guys. So working on that tree pose today. Making sure I breathe. Actually, you know what? We're going to work on tree pose, but I am out of wine, so I'm going to open up this real quick, but I'm still going to lead you guys while I talk, yeah? So we're going to go ahead and stand on the right foot first. So what I want you to do is bring those feet together, lift your right toes up off the floor, and then push them firmly into that ground, so that way you're really gripping them down. And then, actually, switch sides. Foot down.
Okay.
You switched. So lift the toes up.
Okay.
And place them into the ground. So you're gripping.
Okay.
Now lift your left heel, turn that left knee outward, and then start to draw the left foot up the leg where it's comfortable. Now, your opposite hand, if it's not holding on to a glass of wine, can come to your hip, your heart center, or can also extend above you when the hands reach together. Okay. So you've got your options here. Lou's already in her tree pose.
I can use my hands to help me.
You can, absolutely. Okay. Look at you go, holding wine and your foot at the same time. I'm very proud of you right now. So allowing yourself to find your awesome tree pose. And wherever you are, take a moment. And I'm sorry guys, joining us on Facebook. I know we're cut off a little bit, but you got the most important part. The core here, facing forward, the legs, and the glass of wine.
Yeah.
Cheers.
It's nice drop on my knees, or is better stand like this, or I can make this?
You can put a small bend in the knee only if it doesn't push your left hip out. Okay. You don't want that. This hip, inner rotation of the thigh. Strong standing leg.
Okay, it's a huge difference. Okay, nice.
And if that brings your left knee in, try to draw it outward just a little bit more. Beautiful adjustment there. And if you've got your hands out for your tree pose, you can always grow some branches, letting them float up or float down. I've got one branch that's growing grape leaves and one that's growing positive energy. Beautiful, guys. One more breath here. Slowly release out of your pose gently and gracefully as best as we can. Awesome. All right, guys, let's try that on the other side. Shake those legs out a little bit if you need to. And before we move into our tree pose, since you guys have a really nice shot of our legs right now, we might as well talk about our thighs and what we're doing here. So if we're just standing, right, we're hanging out, we have a tendency to do an outer rotation and outer rotation, inner rotation of our thighs, all kinds of weird things. So I want you to try your best to focus on inner rotation of that left thigh to keep it in place. So we don't want to kick it out. We want to keep it in place. Right? Okay, lift your left toes up, spread them onto the floor. Lift your right heel up. Push your right knee out to the side. And as you do that, check your left hip. Make sure it stays in place. Bring your foot to your ankle, and then slowly start to draw the foot up where it's comfortable. If it's not quite comfortable here, that's okay. Hang out down here. This is tree pose. Your tree pose is different from everyone else's tree pose. It does not have to be exactly the same.
Oops.
Anchor down into that big left toe. Allow that wine to be your challenge. Keep activation in that thigh. If it starts to get a little bit lazy, just like I felt mine, activate it, keep it strong, keep that quad really tough, and then bring that leg up a little higher if it feels like it can. Find your branches to your tree. Two more breaths. One more. Inhale and exhale. Release out. Awesome! Yeah! All right, guys. Yep, shake those legs out one more time here, and we're going to slowly come down onto our mats. So if you want to place your wine on the floor for safekeeping in the meantime, that's cool. You can then come into your last chair pose of the evening, activating those quads just a little bit more. So this time, we're going to go ahead and inhale, lift the hands, and sink into your hips. And inhale, lift your heels. Coming into a little Bikram status, let's go ahead and bring the arms parallel to the floor. Yeah, and start to sink down. Yeah. Try to hover over those ankles and feet as much as you feel you can. One more breath. Hands gently come to the floor. Try to shoot one foot at a time in front of you, or both at the same time, whatever works. Good, huh? All right, reverse plank position here. So we're gonna lift both hips up to the sky. So hands come behind you, pushing the fingertips into the mat. Inhale, lift the hips up. If that's feeling a little bit too much for you, you can always bend the knees And then lift the hips up from here. So this is reverse tabletop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, start to slowly lower yourself down. Bring your left knee in towards the chest and hug it in gently. So we're now going to come into our little floor exercise with the legs. We're going to go a little differently than usual. So, sorry, bear with me. Inhale, bring your left knee into the chest. And then we're going to slowly come into a side twist here. So looking over the left shoulder. If it feels acceptable for you, you can start to drag the arms out towards the left shoulder. So the left shoulder pulls back, the right elbow comes into the knee. And you're kind of holding onto your knee here. If this is feeling too good for you and you need to go further, drop the left hand behind you, sit up tall, look over your left shoulder, extend the right arm, and bring the right elbow to the outside of the knee.
Wow. Amazing.
That's a good one. And if the hand can reach the opposite shin, you can always grab onto the shin as well. But I think I'm a little tight today, so I can't go there. Too much pumpkin carving excitement.
Yeah.
All right. Inhale. Exhale. Release yourself. Come forward. Release your left knee out towards the side. Always be careful of your wine. Making sure both sitting bones are on the floor, we're going to come into a single-legged forward fold. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, reach towards that right leg. Keep the right foot flexed and extended out. So don't let the foot go lazy. Keep the toes up. Awesome. Take a couple more breaths, breathing into the side body on the left as well as on the right. Two more. Inhale, gently come up. Now we're going to come into the modified wild thing. So left hand is going to come to the floor behind your hip. You're going to lift your right hip up as you roll onto your left knee. Shoot your hip and your chest and your pelvis out. See if you can bring your chin and your gaze up towards the ceiling. Point those toes. Give a little smile. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, come down gently. Coming into stag pose from here, we're going to bend the right knee and bring that leg behind us. Nice. How's that? You see how I reversed it a little bit?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So inhale, open your arms, wingspan, being kind to the items around you. Right hand to floor, left arm comes up. Returning back to that seated spinal twist like we were in the beginning, but now we've added the legs. Hopefully this feels good for you. Two more breaths here. Inhale, come up, and exhale. Let's relax the hands down for a moment. All right, now we're going to come into the crazy lazy spider.
Okay, let's go.
Inhale, right arm. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, lift a little more, and then as you exhale, float down to the floor. Now I've got some things in front of me, so follow Lou as she comes down to the floor. And if you've got a blanket, you can place that underneath you as well if you'd like. And you can relax yourself coming down. If coming all the way to the floor is not going to be acceptable for you today, if it's feeling a little too much, that's okay. Stay here, use the hands to kind of help prop you up. This is a nice option other than pigeon pose, which can be very, very deep into the thighs. So I like this one as a good option for the legs and the spine. And the more that you can, in a sense, twist yourself into this pose more, so if the legs are coming forward and the upper body is coming back a little bit more, it's hard to see maybe in this angle right here, but say if Lou's upper body was starting to come a little more towards me, you'll find a deeper twist in this pose. So if that's not doing anything for you here, see if you can kind of walk yourself out to the left a little bit more. If this is feeling enough for you here, just enjoy. Relax. And while you guys are stretching, I'll take a sip for you and celebrate how awesome you are.
Papa Murphy's pizza prepared.
Yes.
Let's take just a few more breaths and allowing the mind to really slow down here. As much fun as we're having here, this is a yoga class, so we're trying our best to really relax and let all that BS go that we store inside of our hearts and our minds and our bodies. So let's come on up slowly. Come on up. Now, extend that right leg all the way out to the side. Keep yourself to the angle that you're at, okay? So inhale, open your arms out to the side.
Okay.
Yeah, exhale, reach towards that right leg. So now the right leg is extended. So you feel the difference, how you're opened up more to the side?
Yeah.
So it's like a ballerina stretch, yeah? Like how we see in the bar classes where their foot is extended on the bar, their arm. This is the same, similar concept here. Yeah? That's okay, Alex. We'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Don't worry. The great thing about this class is that it's recorded and you can do it whenever you want. We just can't participate with you, so that's okay. Inhale, come back up. And let's exhale. Relax those hands all the way down. Perfect, guys. Now go ahead and extend those legs back in front of you. And reach those legs and shake them out. Second reverse plank or your tabletop position. Yeah? So inhale, lift the chest, lift the hips, and allow yourself to find your reverse plank or your tabletop. Nice. Inhale and exhale. Relax yourself down. Extend the legs if they weren't already and bring the right knee into the chest. Right. Yes. So we're now going to take that exact same concept to our opposite side. Yeah? Right knees into the chest, both sitting bones. We're facing forward. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to gently come into that seated twist. So looking over your right shoulder or dragging the arms and the hands. Since you already know where we're going, you can move into your twist a little bit faster. Thank you, Alex. We had fun. We figured we're so close to Halloween, we might as well. Yeah. He says he loves our costumes.
See you, Alex. We love you.
Pencils. Finding your twists and being kind. Remember, maybe this side is still feeling a little tighter, and that's okay. Don't force it. Just because you did one thing on one side does not mean that you have to do the same. So be patient. Return back to that intention of I am patient, I am kind, I am loving. Inhale, come back forward. Exhale, drop that knee down towards the side. Awesome. Inhale, both hands come up. And exhale, reach down towards that left leg. And again, just facing the front of your mat, looking at the front or your toes or the camera. Trying our best here to really create equality in our sides. So as we sometimes tend to have one side stronger than the other or more tight, here is where we want to create the balance. Here, just that little bit of adjustment with the rib cage. Try to soften this.
Better?
Yeah. It wasn't bad before, it was just more beneficial this way. One more. Inhale, come up. Modified wild thing. Right hand to the floor. Left hand, left hip comes up and reaches outward. I love this pose. This is my favorite. Push the toes into the ground as much as you can. Lift the chest, lift the heart. Gaze upward. One more. Inhale, lift it. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, opening your arms out. So now you're in that ballerina stretch. So if you need to kind of adjust yourself a little, you can. Inhale, and then exhale. hinging over towards the left foot. Two more. Inhale, come up. And exhale, lower that hand down. Bend our left knee. So now we're in our stag pose, yeah? So I'm going to come and face this way so that way you can be sideways. All right, now opening yourself up. Same concept, going over to the other knee. So towards your left leg. Yeah. Look up towards the sky. Inhale, come up. And exhale, float that right hand down. All right, now let's come into that lazy spider, crazy lazy spider.
Let's go.
Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach your left arm forward. And then as you exhale, find hands to floor. So you can allow yourself to come down onto the floor. And just to point out where Lou's feet are, her foot is close to where her leg is. Now, if the foot and the leg are touching, that's no problem, that's good. If you want a little bit more space here, you can do that as well to get a little bit more stretch into the IT band and into the hips a little bit more too. You can do that. And yeah, as she adjusted herself and brought her knee a little away, this side probably is a little bit looser than the other, yeah?
Yeah.
So just relaxing and finding, okay, that stretch. Relax your toes. Walk the hands out a little bit more. And if you're using your hands to support you, that's okay. So if you're not all the way on the floor like Lou is, maybe you're here. And this can be a nice beneficial twist as well. Yeah, I love yoga for that. No pose has to be exactly the same. Unless we're talking about Ashtanga, which we're not. This is wine and yoga. All right, guys, take a couple more deep breaths here. Use your inhale, slowly start to come up. Use your hands, support yourself here as best as you can. Let's come up to seated, and then we're going to go ahead and extend our legs in front of us one more time and shake those legs out. Hi there, thanks for joining us. I am drinking the wine. Yay!
Hi, Alessandra Castanheira.
Cheers!
Ai, amazing friend from Brazil. Missing you. Que saudades das meninas.
Salud. Take a little sip there, guys. Now let's go ahead and work on the hips just a little bit right before we come down to our Shavasana. So we're going to go ahead and bend those knees, and we're going to come into what's called kind of a can-can, all right? So you're going to bend those knees, and you're just going to drop the knees right, and you're going to drop the knees left. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Right. I did that wrong. Right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale. Exhale, drop it to the right. Inhale. Exhale, left. Hold it for 2 breaths this time. Nice, huh? Inhale. Exhale, drop it and hold for a couple of breaths. One more. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, straddle pose. So open up the legs. I'm going to scoot forward and maybe scoot back. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So straddle pose, seated. Walk those hands behind you. Lift the chest. Push yourself forward. I always have a really challenging time with this pose. It's so hard for me. I don't know why. So allowing ourselves to find it. And if you've got a partner handy, we always like to talk about our partner stretches. You can bring your feet together in your straddle pose. Sit up nice and tall, and then grab each other's hands. If you don't have a partner, if you've got a chair at home that you can do this with, you can do that too. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, I'll pull you first. Trying your best not to just pull them down, but pull forward. So you're pulling the upper body out and away. from the hips. Not necessarily worried about coming down. Take about 3 more breaths here. One more. Inhale, gently lift them back up. And exhale, release. Nice. Bring your feet back together slowly. Give yourself a little hug. Rolling over and then hugging those knees. Drop the head down. Sending yourself some love and gratitude. Something we need to definitely remind ourselves.
Yeah.
Take one more. Inhale, slowly coming up out of the pose, and then we're going to slowly find our Shavasana pose here tonight together. So if you'd like to come into a laying Shavasana, you can, or if you want to come into a seated Shavasana, you can too. But before you do, if you want to take one more sip of wine, please feel free. Allowing yourself to really benefit from the relaxation properties of wine. A lot of us use alcohol for different purposes, so without getting into too many details, we'd like to really highlight the benefit of the relaxation that wine gives us. Sometimes we need just that little extra bump to help us really let it out. All right, so let's go ahead and slide ourselves forward onto the mat so that we have a space to come back onto the mat. If you don't want to come into a Shavasana with us today, that's okay. You can be seated. So inhale, and then exhale, allow yourself to come on down to the floor. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Find a nice full body stretch along your mat. So really reach, stretch out the arms and legs, wiggle and move. Inhale and exhale. Relax the arms down to the side body. And let's find our Shavasana here tonight. Close the eyes. Move the legs maybe out. Move the arms out. And let's take some time to close the eyes and truly turn our focus inward. Let all the muscles in the face begin to relax and soften. Let the shoulders melt into the earth. Feel the warmth of the wine flowing through your blood. Feeling good. Feeling happy. Feeling relaxed. Letting the arms and the legs become soft, deactive. Let this be your time. You spend so much of your time doing so many things, going and doing, achieving, breathing. Allow this time to truly just be. As you feel your mind start to wander, allow yourself to have those thoughts just as easily as you think about all those other things. And see if you can easily let those things go. Let the door of your mind be easy, just like a revolving door. Just as easy as it opens, it closes. time to breathe into your body, let's start to bring awareness back to those fingertips and toes. Start to wiggle them and move them, breathing life and gratitude back into each finger and each toe. Extend the arms up and overhead. Full body stretch. Bend your knees. Bring your feet back to the mat. Maybe windshield wiper them again to bring a little energy back there. And then however you want to come up to seated today, find it. So if you want to roll to one side and use your hands, go for it. If you feel like maybe you've created some good energy here tonight and you want to roll up to a seated position, you can do that too. Find what works for you in this moment. Take it and make it yours. Because that's truly all we have in this world, this moment, this breath. All right, guys, let's go ahead and conclude our practice. Let's release the hands down to the side. Inhale, reach them up towards the sky. Join your palms together. Release your hands to your heart center. Take a nice gentle bow forward. Return back to that intention for practice. That loving, that kindness, that patience. And give thanks to this time that you've given yourself here today. And give thanks to the practice. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, rise back up with the crown of your head. And we'll slowly open our eyes. Thank you so much for joining us for class today, guys. We hope that you enjoyed. Happy Halloween.
Yes.
Namaste.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Alex e Ale.
Thank you for anyone that tuned in with us.
Exactly.
We had Melina, Alessandra, Alex. We had a few other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have Eliana from Argentina. We had some girls friends from Florida, Miami. Thank you.
Yeah. So cheers, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you very, very much. Once again, you can always tune in every Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with us on class here on Facebook Live, or you can also tune in on Zoom. And the details for the Zoom meeting are always located in the Facebook group page. So in the actual event itself, it has the details. So you can always join that group and then tune into those details, or you can always just personally message me. Thanks, Melina. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. E para quem quiser, eu posso fazer uma tradução da aula em português para quem necessite. Eu posso fazer uma tradução da classe em espanhol. Então, todos podem fazer a classe. Todos podem fazer a aula da Jena. É uma aula gratuita que ela faz com todo amor. E, Jena, if I want to do some donation, se eu quero fazer uma doação pelo seu tempo, for your time, for your love, you spread for us, how is the best way to do? Another day I made $3 for PayPal. Outro dia eu fiz uma doação de $3 pelo PayPal. Eu sei que é pouquinho, but it helps. It's a little bit, but it's something. É algo.
It is truly, for me, it means so much for any donation. Absolutely, it means a lot to me because I want to always continue to give free yoga classes, and to help with these yoga classes, any donation that's made is pretty much going right back to our wine right now. So thank you guys for helping keep this class going and alive and us happy with our vino. So the best way to donate, I have a couple different options. You can always direct message me if you're ever wondering the best way for you. But I do have Venmo, Jenna M. Andrews. I do also have a Ko-Fi account, and that is a donation-based website. So that's ko-fi.com/yoga with Jenna Marie. And that has the availability for you to donate just your basic $3. It's for a cup of coffee. I also have PayPal as well, and that's also going to be, it's going to be J. Andrews Photography. So for you that know me, I also do my photography, and that's going to be the PayPal account if you're from international, from out of the States, if you're an international person.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so there's tons of options, and also on Facebook they have a payment option too. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate even just feedback, guys, giving us, hey, I really like this about the class, or hey, maybe this could be a little different, or I would love to learn this pose. We're always really happy and welcome to
Not hear about that.
So
thank you.
yeah, and our giveaway, guys, I know that some of you have been tuning in especially for that, so we really appreciate you. We are going to actually announce the winner in a separate video here in the next few moments. So I apologize if you've been holding tight for this class, but you just need just a couple of more moments, about 5, I think that's right.
Okay.
But we're going to post a separate video, so that way it is a extended, or is a additional video from this one, so that way
Exactly. We need to a gente precisa pegar os nomes para fazer o sorteio. We need to keep the names to do a giveaway. Yeah.
Mostly we need to look at who added into class today. So anyone that joined class, that is an entry into the win today. So thank you guys for joining class today, and any class that you joined in the last month. As well as, I just want to see if anyone posted any photos on Instagram in the last few minutes. We need to know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So guys, we'll post that video here in just the next few moments, and then we'll be doing another giveaway in November. So don't worry if you didn't win this month. We will be doing another giveaway in November. It's going to be another yoga package with awesome goodies from Tahoe Heartbeat again, because they are awesome. We love them so much. They are one of our biggest supporters, so we really appreciate you guys. Thank you, Parker. Thank you, Ali.
Thank you, Tahoe Heartbeat. You are amazing.
You guys
the
are
best
awesome.
brand of California. Something like Tahoe,
So I won't give you too many details about the yoga giveaway package because we want it to be kind of a fun little surprise. So so tune in, guys. We hope to see you guys all next week, and then we will hopefully have a winner for you. Not hopefully, we will have a winner for you in just about 5 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. Hope to see you next week. Espero encontrar todos vocês na próxima quinta-feira, às 6 da tarde aqui da Califórnia, 9 da noite Miami, Nova York e 10 da noite Brasil, Argentina. Beijos. Bye bye.